But my number one is Gregg Berhalter. Now, I'm going to have to explain this because I think it's important. For those that have listened to me over the years, you will know that I have a rule in that I don't think that a coach for a national team should coach multiple cycles. I think it gets stale, and I think that regardless if you win a World Cup or you come in last, that you should say thank you and you should pass it on to somebody else. We've talked about a number of coaches, Mosse, in this segment, in this pod, where they're bucking that trend because that was kind of conventional wisdom. Not by all, but by many. And yet we're talking about the Didier Deschamps, and we're talking about the Southgates. And, you know, the list goes on and on and on. And Mancini's, these types of coaches that now, through multiple cycles, and some cycles that have not been successful, where they are sticking with coaches. Even saying that, I still would have been fine had my criteria been fulfilled where it came to the end, we moved on from Gregg Berhalter. But, and I've said this before, and I will repeat it, what has happened relative to Gregg Berhalter, I do not abide by that. No, I do not think that that is ultimately fair. And so, yes, there is an element of principle. You have somebody in your midst who has been wronged, unfairly maligned, and has suffered because of the behavior and because of the actions. This is a man with obviously experience, arguably, and if you go statistically, the most successful coach that the United States has had. I do agree with our guest from last week, Brendan Hunt, that he did everything that was asked of him. Could he have done more? Could he have been more successful? Could he have made different choices at different times? Absolutely. But there is now part of me that, one, wants to stand on principle and say, no, we're not going to allow that to happen to a good man. And in essence, we are going to reward him and say, we are going to give you another cycle here, and the most important cycle in modern history when it comes to the U.S. men's national team leading up to 2026. The other part, and we've already heard, is that obviously, internally, players support this guy. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to come out and say this guy sucks, okay? But we are now seeing multiple players that are backing Gregg Berhalter. And I'm not saying that all of them do, but there obviously has been an affinity that has been created over the last 4 years that Gregg Berhalter has been in charge with this group of players. And that's a good thing. And then the final reason would be, I don't think that anybody is going to work harder. I don't think that anybody is going to appreciate more the opportunity because of the things that I'm talking about, because of the shit that has gone on, than Gregg Berhalter. And I think that he will relish and respect the opportunity, maybe more so than anybody that I have mentioned, because of all of the things that have gone on. Do I think that's going to happen? No. But this is my list. I get to make it. I think that these are all wonderful candidates. I'm not sure any of them will be ultimately interviewed. I'm not sure any of them will get the job. There's a whole other list of people that I would be fine with and I'm confident with. Some notable possibilities here include Aliou Cissé, Senegal coach, Steve Cherundolo, the LAFC coach, Luis Enrique, I've talked about before, who is just this wonderful free spirit, and I think people really would gravitate to him. So those are some other things. This was hard making the list and then putting it in order. But this is my list. Please tell me who you think. Mosse, first reaction to this, though.
When we had Taylor Twellman on, he said that the U.S. Soccer Federation has to, quote-unquote, swing for the fences on this one. You didn't find a place on your list for like a Jose Mourinho or Carlo Ancelotti. You think that's just a pipe dream and don't even waste your time?
No, I don't think it's a pipe dream at all. I just don't think that they're right for the job at this point. I don't think that this group needs this revered, for lack of a better word, older generation of a coach at this moment for 2026.